Hey guys, and welcome back to the next installment of this series. Please do forgive us if we sound really weird. We have allergies right now, so if you hear us sniffling and sniving, and maybe even a cough here or there, um, please do forgive us. For the most part, it's just allergies, so yeah, but still do please forgive us if every now and then you hear like a sniffling or if we sound really weird because of that. But we are still going to be recording this because why the hell not? It's fun. This is a great game, and we still need to get on into playing this. So we're picking up right where we left off, which is going to be Turnabout Samurai. Hope you enjoy this new episode and have fun. All of this belongs to Capcom, by the way. You have disgraced me for the last time, Steel Samurai. The pale moon in the sky cries for your blood. The moon? No, it is you who should gaze upon the moon, for it will be the last moon you will ever see. See you in hell, evil magistrate! Wah! Ah! The warrior swords gleam and strike in the moonlight. One has fallen, but who? Only the moon knows. Don't miss next week's exciting episode, The Dark Messenger Return. October 14th, 5:31 p.m. Wright & Co. Law Offices. That rocked! See you in hell, evil magistrate! Whoa, stop waving that broom around! Oh, Nick, I didn't know you were here. Of course I'm here. What was that surreal show you were watching? What? Nick, you mean you don't know the Steel Samurai? He's only the most popular TV hero for young people. Young? Like, how young? 10 years old? Then what the heck are you doing getting all excited? Hey, I'm only 17. That's 17. See? I'm a teen, not like you, Nick. Hey, don't talk to me like I'm your grandpa or something. I'm only 24 myself. Then watch it with me. He's really cool, and it's really popular. When they asked grade school kids what they wanted to be, Steel Samurai was #1. I really worry about kids these days. Gramps. Well, the Steel Samurai's over. I guess it's time to close up the office. I guess. Wish we had some clients. A month has passed since my trial. Mia's murder was the talk of the town for some time, but no one paid any attention to the Wright & Co. law offices. How am I going to pay the rent this month? It'll be okay. I'm sure some big client is just around the corner. October 16th, 8:14 a.m. Beanix Wright's bedroom. Hello, this is Phoenix. Nick! Maya, what? It's still early. It's the Steel Samurai! The Steel Samurai got arrested! Huh? You mean the guy on that show? Yes! They're saying that the Steel Samurai killed a villain! Isn't that what he's supposed to do? Yeah, on TV! Yeah, on TV. No! I mean, he actually did it! In real life! He skewered a villain with his samurai spear! I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. Just come to the office, quick! Please, Nick! October 16th, 9:22 a.m. Wright & Co. Law Offices. Maya's here, watching television. Now, for the morning news. The actor Will Powers was arrested yesterday. Powers played the lead role in the popular kids show The Steel Samurai Warrior of Neo Old Tokyo. He was arrested on suspicion of murder. The victim was Jack Hammer, who plays the villain known as the Evil Magistrate. His body was found still inside the Evil Magistrate costume. The Steel Samurai spear was also found struck through the body. Police believe this was the murder weapon and are investigating further. This has to be a joke. No, no, no! It's a nightmare! The Steel Samurai is over! The world is over! Yes? Wright & Co. Law Offices? What? Nick! It's the Steel Samurai! What? Yes, of course! We'll be right there! let's go, Nick! Go? Go where? They have the Steel Samurai down in detention. So what? So, I've decided this will be our first case. October 16th, Detention Center, Visitor's Room. What's wrong, Maya? It's him, in the flesh. Is that guy really him? What do you mean, that guy? Of course it's him. Will Powers, our client, that's him. Maybe I shouldn't be saying this, but he definitely did it. Murder. At least once, maybe twice. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What are you saying? Yes? Something wrong? No. This is getting off to a great start. I know. You're disappointed, aren't you? Disappointed? Oh, no. Oh, no, it's okay. This is real. This is the real me. When I got the part of the Steel Samurai with that mask, I decided I would never show my face in public until the job was over. It's for the kids, you know. I didn't want to wreck their dreams. Oh. I guess it didn't matter. So much for dreams. I wonder what they'll think of the Steel Samurai now. Nick! What? He's a good guy. I mean, he's good. Yeah, he didn't do it. What happened? Maybe you could start by telling us what happened. Yeah, of course. It seems like it was only yesterday. Actually, it was only yesterday. The cast had come down to Global Studios for a run-through. We went through a few action sequences at 10 o'clock that morning. There was a rehearsal scheduled for 5 in the afternoon, but when 5 came around and the staff gathered at the studio, Evil Magistrate was found lying in a crumpled heap near the set. They took off his mask and discovered that it was Jack Hammer. Dead! He had been expertly skewered with the samurai spear. The samurai spear? Yes, it's a long spear that the Steel Samurai uses as a weapon. Steel Samurai. Maybe you could explain to me just what the Steel Samurai is. How could you say such a thing? I'm sorry, sir. I apologize for my partner. He's new to this and a bit out of touch with the world. Hey! Who's new to this? No, it's alright, really. The Steel Samurai is the lead character in a popular kids show. He walks the streets of neo-old Tokyo, fighting battle after battle against the evil magistrate and his minions. Of course, he never really defeats the evil magistrate, although I guess he did defeat him this time. I see. Neo-old Tokyo? Who comes up with these names? Powers alibi. Now, where were you on the day of the murder? Well, that morning I came to the studios at 9. We worked through some action scenes until noon. Rehearsal was to begin at 5, but I was a little tired. So after lunch, I took a nap in my dressing room. When I woke up, it was after 5. I was late for the rehearsal. I hurried to the studio and found everyone looking shocked. They arrested me on the spot and brought me here. So he was sleeping the entire afternoon of the murder? Some action hero. What will the kids think? I think I should probably check out the scene of the murder. Right, Global Studios. I'll draw you a map. Wow, Nick, let's go! I'm willing to bet $10 she asks for autographs. Studio, main gate. October 16th, Global Studios, main gate. Wow, so this is where they make the Steel Samurai show. Awesome! Aren't you excited? Hey, you there! You wanted, you gotta go through me! Oh, sorry! We're, lawyers. Oh yeah? Well, that's great. I'm security, and it's my job to make sure that gawkers like you stay out! Gawkers? Gawkers! Sightseers! Tourists! I know the type. You heard about the incident and came to snoop around! Youth today, something horrible happens and all you can think is sightseeing, wasting your time in a place like this. Don't you have jobs you should be doing, or do lawyers with us? Like a... Well, then I was young, when mind you, different space, hippie clothes, whatever her son has called it. Ick. Will I grow up to be like her? Please say no. I don't know, it's possible. Hey! Listen when you're being spoken to. Youth today! I forgot how much Wendy talks. Oops. The studios. So, what do you do here at the studios? At Global Studios, we make children's dreams come true. In fact, in my younger days... No, you were a star! Only a little twinkle between the stars here, I'm afraid, dearie. Wow! This place has really gone downhill, you know. But 10 years ago now that was a studio of dreams. Hammer was a big star back then, too. He was... Hammer? The victim, dummy. The evil magistrate. He's been reduced to playing villains now. Not exactly the best material to work with. Will Powers. Can you tell me about Mr. Will Powers? He's not a bad kid, but don't be fooled by his mask. You wouldn't want him on the silver screen without it, believe me. Little old ladies watching would lose their lunch. That's probably why he thought that the Steel Samurai was his big chance. No one thought he was capable of doing what he did to poor Jack Hammer. We don't know for certain that Will Powers is guilty. Powers? Of course he's guilty. How do I know? I know everything. That's my job. Mr. Hammer. What kind of person was Jack Hammer? What kind of person? Oh, if you only knew. Jack Hammer will live on in many hearts as the ultimate action hero. He was simply dashing in the Dynamite Samurai series. I have heard of that. But there was an incident during filming 5 years ago. He got an unlucky break after that, reduced to playing the villain on a children's program. What's more, I heard they were paying him peanuts. It's enough to make you cry. Reason for suspicion. Why are you so certain that Mr. Powers is the killer? I was standing right here yesterday, I was here from 1 in the afternoon to 5 when they found the body. Now the studio where the murder took place is to be left here. So if you want to go to the studio, you have to pass by me. Only one person went by here between 1 and 2:30 when the murder took place. And that person was Mr. Powers? Yes, I saw him. But Mr. Powers says he was sleeping in his dressing room. Oh, I'm sure he would say that. He's no fool. But he was the only one that walked by. He's the killer. You can bet your biscuits on it. Is it about time for you to be heading home? There's nothing to see here. Move along. Actually, we're here at Mr. Powers' request. I thought you were suspicious looking. Show me a letter of request, and maybe I'll just let you in. This lady here thinks she owns the place, obviously. Detention Center. Hello, how is the studio? They all think I did it, don't they? No, not at all. Isn't that right, Nick? Right, not at all. At worst, you're a suspect. Your alibi. Mr. Powers, you aren't hiding anything from me, are you? What? No, I never do that. Earlier, you said you were sleeping in your dressing room after lunch. Yes, like a baby. But the security lady says that she saw you that day. She says she saw you heading towards the scene of the crime. What? It's not possible. I really don't know what to say. I was sleeping, I promise. Mr. Powers, if you want me to help you, you have to tell me the truth. I'm new to this lawyer business, and I need every advantage I can get. I know, I'm sorry. But I swear to you on my mama's grave, I was sleeping. Maybe the security lady only thought she saw me. What did she see? He doesn't seem to be lying. The security lady. About the security guard at the main gate of the studio. Oh, the security lady? She's terrible! She called me suspicious looking! Yeah, actually, she said the same thing to me before. Take off that mask, were her words, I believe. She sucks up to all the bigwigs at the studio, but let her see you stumble once and she'll never let up on you. She's got some nerve. Do you think you could write up a letter formally requesting my representation? Of course! Powers request added to the court record. Powers request document proving Will Powers' request for an attorney. I just hope this will get me past that security lady. Studio, main gate. Powers' request. Document proving Will Powers' request for an attorney. Ma'am, have a look at this. It's a letter of request from Mr. Powers. Yes, I recognize the bold, childish scrawl. Powers' request given to the security lady. To think he would entrust his faith to youths of such an unreliable appearance. Really? Really? Anyway, you may pass, but only Left from here towards the studios. Now going to the right. That's the employee area. No one allowed inside, pal, were my instructions. The good detective told me himself. Hey, Nick! Huh? There was maps in the security guard station. Hey, not bad. Those are 50 cents apiece, thank you! Well, time to go, Nick. 50 cents! Guide map of Global Studios added to the court record. Outside Studio 1. October 16th, Studio 1 entrance. Hey! Aren't you that murderer from the other day? Huh? It's the confused detective! Hey, pal, you know Prosecutor Edgeworth is all upset and it's your fault. I saw him snipping tea and staring gloomily out the window. So? Hey! If he's depressed, it's all your fault for doing sloppy detective work. Detective? I think you hurt his feelings. Oh no, I'm sorry. Well, I think his feelings are easily hurt. You're right, pal. It's all my fault. I can't blame other people all I want, but I know it's the truth in my heart. Hey, don't take it so hard. There's always your next case. Yeah, I suppose you're right. Hey, what exactly are you two doing here? Well, we're on this case too, pal. Huh? Hey! You can't just go around saying pal like that! That's my endearing character trait! I'd say he's a character, alright. The investigation. So, how's your investigation going, detective? Well, it's... Hey! I can't tell you that, pal! Nick, maybe you need to be a little more indirect with your questions? Right. So, detective, mind if I take a look at what you've got? What I got? The autopsy report. The latest version, if you please. Right. Sorry about what happened last time, pal. Autopsy report added to the court record. Jack's autopsy report. Time of death 10:15 at 2:30 p.m. Cause pierced through the chest by a spear. Reason for arrest. Why was Mr. Powers arrested? Simple, pal. The murder took place right over there in the Studio 1. Now, the victim entered the Studio 1 at approximately 10:01 p.m. At that time, there was no one other than the victim at the studio. According to the autopsy report, the time of death was 2:30 p.m. Only one person went to the studio between 1 and 2:30, and that person was none other than Will Powers. No one else, pal. If you think I'm lying, ask the security lady at the main gate. Nick, if that's true, anyone would think that Powers did it with that kind of evidence? Thanks for cheering me up. The security lady. About the security lady. Oh, that sweet old lady. What a charmer. Huh? Are we talking about the same person? When I showed her my badge, she gave me a donut and some coffee. Remember what Powers said. She's a sucker for authority. She even gave me a piece of valuable evidence. What? Decisive evidence. What kind of evidence? Well, that, photo. The photo of the Steel Samurai heading towards the scene of the crime. What? Who took that? See the camera up there on the gate, pal? The gate? You mean the one with the welcome sign? Yeah. Whenever someone walks by, that camera automatically snaps a photo of them. Oh no! Nick, he has evidence! We're finished! Funny, for someone with hard proof, he doesn't look too happy. What's wrong, pal? You seem down. Don't look so happy when you say that. Oh. We'd like to ask the employees here some questions. Sure thing, pal. Go wherever you'd like. Of course, you're not going to find any clues I haven't already found. I'm glad someone around here seems to be enjoying themselves. Nick, let's go! We've got a free pass to the place. Now's our chance to check things out. The entrance to Studio 1. This is the studio where they found Jack Hammer's body. Let's go in and check it out, Nick! Hey, it's locked! Looks like you need a card key to get in. It makes sense that they would want to keep the non-employees out. The studio mascot. I guess it's a monkey of some kind, but what kind of monkey has a nose like that? Holding a sign in his hand. Right to Studio 1, left to Studio 2. What's up with that thing? It looks kind of busted. Oh, the wind was pretty strong yesterday and the head broke off. It took that tree down with it too. Hey, there's a camera here. That's the security camera. It takes photos of people going through the studio. All you have to do is look at the data and you can see who went where. There's a number plate on the camera. ST1307. That must be the camera ID number. Nick, look! That security lady is in the guard station stuffing her face with donuts. I guess all cops like their donuts. Yeah, and they're soft enough so she doesn't need teeth to chew them. Hey, you! Well, are you satisfied Powers is guilty yet? Ugh. You had to make my life harder by giving that photo to Detective Gumshoe. Photographic proof. Why didn't you tell us about the security photo, ma'am? Oh, that? I just thought it would be more thrilling to talk with the detective himself. These things are important, you know. Oh, just to the left from here is the gate with the camera that took the photo. It's my job to check the photos every day, you see. Reason for suspicion. This guard station is in the central position. No matter where you go here, you pass by my station first. Now, poor Hammer, he went to the studio just before 1. The murder happened right around 2:30, you see. The only one I'd seen go through here between 1 and 2:30 was Powers himself. The security camera got a good look at him, too. If he's not the one what did it, I don't know who is. Maybe it was you? Yeah, good one, Sonny. He thinks I was joking. Mr. Hammer. Was the victim, Mr. Hammer, a popular actor? Oh, he was the biggest star in the studio. Was? Past tense? Oh yes, he was great as the bearded samurai. That too, yes. He's shown the brightest back in the day. Making a star like him play the evil magistrate. It's a disgrace, I tell you. Hammer took it pretty hard, and who can blame him? Automatic camera. About the security camera. Oh yes, the camera. It's automatic. It can tell when someone walks through the gate, you see? And it snaps a photo. Apparently, it records the time when it takes the picture, too. But I don't bother myself with those details. I just view all the photos on the computer over to the security guard station. I check them every day before going home, I do. The computer that runs the studio security cameras. Hey, no touching! Employee area. October 16th, Global Studios Employee Area. Nick! This is where they do all the behind-the-scenes stuff. Hey, look! There's Powers' dressing room! No one's here this soon after the murder, I guess. Let's take a look around! The remnants of yesterday's lunch are scattered around. Everyone was probably too shocked to clean up. There's a T-bone on one of the plates, minus the steak. T-bone steak! That would have hit the spot. Just had a burger. Yeah, but I have a second stomach just for steaks. What? The metal grate on the drain here has been taken off. That's a pretty big drain. A kid could fit through there, I bet. Yeah, if you snuck in that way, you wouldn't have to pay at the gate. Well, if you want to leave that way, be my guest. Right! Huh? Hey! I'm not a kid! October 16th, Global Studios dressing room. Powers' dressing room. So this is where he was sleeping? Or at least this is where he claims he was sleeping. No one actually saw him take a nap here, did they? Right, and there's a picture of him near the crime scene. I hope he's telling the truth, for his sake. Wrong thing. This must be Powers' bag. Hey, don't open that. Look! An employee card key. That must be Powers'. It says Studio 1. Let's take it, Nick. Borrow it. You mean borrow. Card key added to the court record. Card key. Card key for studio employees. Grants entry into Studio 1. The entrance to Studio 1. This is the studio where they found Jack Hammer's body. Let's go in and check it out, Nick! I wonder if this card key we borrowed from the dressing room will work. It opened! Alright, we're in! She's way too happy for someone visiting a crime scene. Inside Studio 1. October 16th, Studio 1. What is it? You're real quiet all of a sudden. Doesn't it give you the shivers, Nick? That white tape, it's so real. Well, the evil magistrate did die here, and the steel samurai killed him. The murder weapon was the samurai spear. Sounds pretty real to me. Look, a ladder! That's a step ladder. So, what's the difference? You need to stop judging things based on narrow-minded cultural assumptions, Nick. Right. Sorry. This girl is out there. Wow, look at that camera! That must cost a ton. Yeah, so don't touch it. Whoa, it's heavier than I thought. Hey, you, no touching that! Sorry, my partner is kind of, you know. You know? No, I don't know! Who are you? Who, me? I'm an assistant here. I help with props and stuff, moving them around, ordering new ones, etc. We're lawyers representing Mr. Will Powers. Oh, you're WP's people. WP? Oh, Will Powers. WP, I get it. I don't envy you guys one bit, but do what you can for WP, okay? He'd never hurt a fly. He has to be innocent. Don't worry, leave it to us! The day of the crime. Could you tell me anything about the day of the murder? Yeah, I was in the studio the whole day. I was the only assistant on staff that day, you see. Only one assistant? Yeah, well, the studio isn't doing so well right now. And yesterday was only rehearsal for our action sequences. Oh, I see. In the morning, we went through the action sequences in the employee area. WP and Hammer were there, along with everyone else. The employee area, that's where Powers' dressing room is, right? Yeah, that's the place. After eating lunch there, Mr. Hammer went to Studio 1. Then I saw WP going into his dressing room. But I didn't see either of them after that. Will Powers. Did you know that Mr. Powers was sleeping in his room? No, I wouldn't go in there unless I had some urgent message for him. I mean, it's his private... What kind of girl do you think I am? What kind... No, I'm sure you're a fine girl. Sorry. So much for getting confirmation of Powers' alibi. What do we do, Nick? We haven't found anything. If WP was the only one who came to the studio, then he has to be the killer. They even have a photograph. Sorry, I know you're busy. Not really. Actually, there's been something bothering me. Ah, that's what I'm talking about! A clue! A lead! Well, I don't know about that, but that day, just after noon, I sensed someone was here. You sensed? Yeah, several times. Some other studio employees, maybe? No, I don't think so. The only thing we had scheduled was an action scene run-through. I was the only assistant here that day. I have a feeling it was someone from outside. Really? But wait, if someone had come in here, wouldn't that security lady have noticed them? Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry, I don't have any better information than that. No, thanks. That helps us a lot. Anything helps. Let's go put that security lady on the spot. So, you sense that someone other than the regular film crew was in the studio? Yeah, I think. I think doesn't cut it in a witness testimony. Nick, what about that security lady? If someone else came into the studio, she must have seen them. October 16th, Global Studios main gate. What? You're still here? Really? You look as though you've seen a ghost. Assistants claim. What? I saw that suspicious look on your face. I wanted to ask you again about yesterday. You came here at 10 p.m., correct? And the estimated time of Hemmer's death was 2:30. Are you sure that Powers was the only one to go through here between those times? Sure as can be. We have a witness who thinks there was someone from outside here that day. What? Are you absolutely sure that you were here watching the whole time? Ma'am? Who was it? Who told you that? Who dares question me? Alright, you better tell me and tell me quick, you spiky-haired cretin. Someone's been complaining about the work I do, eh? We were just talking to the assistant in Studio 1. Her! She's not even a full-time employee! All you youngins are like that nowadays, running your mouths like there's no tomorrow, saying that this and the other thing. Well, I think you the thing or two words else you I was back when I was crying shame. She left. Well, Nick, this is our chance to do what we can without her looking over our shoulders. The computer that runs the studio security cameras. Nick, maybe we could see that photo of Powers with this computer. Yeah, maybe. Should I try the computer? Okay, let's give it a try. You know how to work these things, Nick? Looks like I just have to enter a few numbers. Let's see. First, I need the date of the murder. It looks like that camera turned on at 10 p.m. that day. 10. That was when the security lady arrived at the guard station. Please enter the number of the security camera. There, entered. Hey, it printed out the data for that day. Let's see what we've got. Huh? How is this a picture of Will Powers? Well, he is the one who always wears that suit. Guess that's why the security leader thought it was him. I don't imagine the detective was very happy with this photo as evidence. Something's printed on the back. Huh? October 15th, 2 p.m., photo number 2. What does that mean? Maybe there's more photo data from that day? Nope, that's the only one on this computer. Powers' question mark photo added to the court record. Taken at the gate between the entrance and the studios, October 15th, 2 p.m., photo number 2. Hey, Nick! Can we use this photo as evidence for the trial? Yeah. We'll put that security lady in her place with this. Right, we'll put her in her place. Hey, that's what I said! Anyway, let's show her this photo and see what she says. Wait, let's not. Why not? It's never a good idea to reveal your hand to the enemy too soon. Nick, you're craftier than I gave you credit for. Why, you could be the next evil magistrate. Hey, why do I have to be the villain? Relax, it was just a joke. So, are we done for today? I think this photo is what we needed for the trial. Still, it'd be better if we had some idea who the real killer was. Maybe it really is that security lady? This is gonna be another double feature today. This is gonna be part 1 of the investigation and the part 2 trial. We're gonna try to cram in as much of it as we can. There is 3 different days to this, or well, technically 3 days, so might do both the trial and investigation after this, depending on how we feel after the trial. Yeah, I'm rambling, I apologize about that, but let's just continue with where we are. Once again, all of this belongs to Capcom, all of this belongs to them, and all of their characters belong to them. So, this does not belong to any of us. October 18th, 10 a.m., District Court, Courtroom number 4. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Very well. Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement, please. The prosecution will show the court that 2:30 p.m. on October 15th, the defendant, Mr. Will Powers, killed a fellow actor, Jack Hammer, in Studio 1 of Global Studios. It is impossible for anyone else to have committed this heinous crime. The evidence presented during the trial will all point to this fact. I see. Very well, I would like to move on to some testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, the prosecution may call its first witness. Very well, I call a most familiar face, Detective Gumshoe, to the stand. Detective, if you would briefly describe this case to the court. Yes, sir. I'll explain it with the guide map here. To understand this case, it's important to grasp the layout of the studio, see? This here is the employee area. The actors did a run-through of their action scenes during the morning here. This is the main gate to the studios. The security lady that works at the studios was here at 10 p.m. on that day. Past the security station, here there is a gate, see? Past that are the studios. And here it is, Studio 1. This is the scene of the murder where the body was found. Now, on the day of the murder, October 15th, there were only 3 people here. The victim, Jack Hammer, the defendant, Will Powers, and a young woman, the production assistant. All the production staff were in the employee area until afternoon. Then, after lunch, the victim, Jack Hammer, went to Studio 1. Right after that, at 1 p.m., the security lady got to the guard station. Now, jump ahead to later that day, 5 p.m. The production staff came to Studio 1 to perform a rehearsal. Needless to say, the rehearsal was cancelled. The time of death was 2:30 p.m. The samurai spear found lodged in the victim's chest was the murder weapon. That's the case, in brief. Anyone would like to hear that again? Should I listen to the whole thing again? I think I could probably remember that. So the murder weapon was a spear. How medieval. Samurai spear added to the court record. Samurai spear. The spear was found stuck in the chest of the victim. Your Honor, this case is quite simple if you ask one question, and that question is, what did the security lady at the guard station see? Understood. Let's call the security officer to the stand. Will the witness declare her name? My, aren't you a handsome fellow? I'm afraid I'm a bit flustered. Your name, please. Oh, dearie, no need for you to be embarrassed. Just call me Grandma. Your name, please! Seems Edgeworth has a little bit of trouble getting his witnesses to say their names. Wendy Oldback, dearie. Or you could just call me Grandma, it's so practical. Even when I was a young lady of Oldback, still a children would make fun of me because of, can you believe it? But there was still a boy that when he called me an Oldback, I just cried and cried because I had a crush on him, you see? Oh, objection! I object to the witness's talkativeness. Objection sustained. The witness will refrain from rambling on the stand. I was just getting to the good part, dearie. Perhaps we could get to the testimony. Now the witness was stationed at the main gate on the day of the murder, correct? Yes, see, I was. And to the scene of the murder, someone would have to pass by you. You know your stuff, dearie. You may begin your testimony. Here is one hell of an old bag. Witness's testimony. Witness's account. On the day of the murder, I arrived at the guard station at 1 p.m. Poor old Hammer and the rest had been going to run through there since the morning. I had some errands to run that morning. Anyway, it was 1 when I got to the guard station. I was at the main gate from then until 5. Now, the murder happened at 2:30 p.m., right? Interesting to me because a certain man walked by me at 2 p.m. It was Powers, that man right there, and he was heading towards the studio.
You saw the defendant, then? Very well. Let's begin the cross-examination. Mr. Wright?
Yes, Your Honor. Witness's account. On the day of the murder, I arrived at the guard station at 1 p.m. Poor old Hammer and the rest had been doing a run through there since this morning. I had some errands to run that morning. Anyway, it was 1 when I got to the guard station. I was at the main gate from then until 5. Now, the murder had happened at 2:30 p.m., right? Interesting to me because a certain man walked by me at 2 p.m. It was Powers, that man right there, and he was heading towards the studio. Powers' ? Photo taken at the gate between this entrance and the studios, October 15th at 2 p.m., photo number 2. Let me get this straight, old bag, Miss Old Bag. You've been saying since yesterday that you saw Mr. Powers, correct? But you're talking about the man in this photo, aren't you?
Just a moment, Mr. Wright. Let me see that photo. What is this exactly?
None other than the Steel Samurai, defeater of Neo-Old Tokyo. Mrs. Oldbag, is this the Mr. Powers that you saw? Of course! Did your mama teach you any sense, sonny? Anyone can plainly see that's Powers, right?
No, they can't! Well, I mean, I wonder.
True, Mr. Powers does play the role in the Steel Samurai. But that doesn't mean Mr. Powers is the Steel Samurai. I know that. I wasn't born yesterday.
No one in this court is accusing you of that, Miss... witness.
He's having trouble calling her old bag, apparently.
However, you do not have any proof that the person in this photo is Mr. Powers, do you?
Nosy old man. Of course I have proof.
What? Huh?
Even Edgeworth is surprised?
The prosecution would like to ask the witness, please make known all the information in your possession ahead of time.
How was I to know everyone would be so nosy? You should be ashamed, all of you. Anyway, I showed that photo to the young detective. He told me this isn't any good as evidence, pal. He didn't even give it a second look.
Wow, old Windbag has even left Edgeworth speechless. She's good. Let's hear about your proof, then.
Witness testimony, the man in the photo. I never say anything I don't mean, mind you. That morning, during the run-through of the action scene, I saw Powers trip and fall. He broke one of the props. It was a big mess. Apparently, he sprained his ankle pretty bad. Now, look at that picture. You can see he's dragging his leg. See? Clear as day. That's how I knew it was Powers. Happy?
So he had sprained his ankle. Very well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
She's gotta be hiding something. I'll press her until she squeals. The man in the photo. I never say anything I don't mind, mean you. Mean me, mind you. That morning, during the run-through of the action scene, I saw Powers trip and fall. He broke one of the props. It was a big mess. He broke a prop? Sure did. His own samurai spear. Samurai spear? The murder weapon? Luckily, I was there with my duct tape to fix it. It strikes me as a significant detail. I'd better write this down in the court record. Samurai spear updated in the court record. The murder weapon. A break in the shaft has been mended with duct tape. Apparently, he sprained his ankle pretty bad. You can see he's dragging his leg. See? Clear as day. That's how I knew it was Powers. Happy? You can see he's dragging his legs. See? Clear as day. Apparently, he sprained his ankle pretty bad. He broke one of the props. It was a big mess. I saw Powers trip and fall. That morning, during the run-through of the action scene. Who was present at the run-through? Well, let's see. There was Powers, he was the Steel Samurai, then poor old Hammer, the evil magistrate, and me.
And what exactly were you doing?
Observing, just observing.
What about the assistant?
Oh, she was off moving backdrops around and such.
She didn't see the run-through then.
I saw Powers trip and fall. He broke one of the props. It was a big mess. Apparently he sprained his ankle pretty bad.
I think we've heard enough, haven't we, Your Honor? Well, there is one thing that bothers me. Which is, where is this Steel Samurai costume now? Actually, well, we couldn't find it. We're looking, though. Anyway, that's not important. The witness did see the Steel Samurai, yes. And it is clear that the person in the Steel Samurai suit was Mr. Will Powers. I suppose that's right.
You sure you're sure, Your Honor?
Hold it right there! We keep talking possibilities, but we have yet to agree that this photo shows the Steel Samurai. Nowhere in this photo can we see it's Mr. Will Powers. The defense has a point. I also wonder if someone else has not caught on... I also wonder if someone else not caught on camera could have killed Mr. Hammer. We have to consider that the possibility also. Then allow me to remove that doubt from your mind, Your Honor. Will the witness continue her testimony, please?
No need to ask twice.
Witness's account continued.
The time of poor Hammer's death was 2:30 p.m., true. The only person I saw go through the studio before then was Will Powers. No one else went there. If they had, I would have seen them.
So if no one else went to the studio, then it would have to be the Steel Samurai who did it. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
The time of poor Hammer's death was 2:30 p.m., true. The only person I saw go through the studio before then was Will Powers. No one else went there.
Powers' photo. He's dragging one leg. October 15th, 2:30 p.m. Photo number 2. Hold on! Look at this photograph one more time. This photo was taken by the camera at the gate for the studios, correct?
Yes, sirree, Sonny.
So, whenever anyone passes by here, it automatically takes a picture.
And here I thought you didn't know your head from a hole in the ground.
Right. Anyway, it's also true that the computer in the guard station records all security cam data.
Oh, you know if you wanted to work at the studio, we may have an opening.
That very computer printed out this photo. Note that on the back of the photo are printed the words October 15th, 2 p.m., photo number 2.
Even I know that means it was taken at 2 p.m. on October the 15th. Really, Sonny.
Actually, I knew that too. The issue here is the bit at the end where it says photo number 2.
Photo number 2?
The computer only held data for the one photo on that day. Don't you think that it's odd? Shouldn't this photo be photo number 1 if it really was the only photo? Order, order! Please tell the court what you mean by this, Mr. Wright. Actually, that's what I wanted to ask the witness. This evidence shows that not 1, but 2 people went to the studio that day. Yet here, there is only data for one of the photos. Who could have erased the data for the other photo? Only someone with access, the security lady herself.
Me? You watch your mouth, whippersnapper. The only person I saw that day was Will Powers.
But the camera on the gate fired twice. That means 2 people went by.
Well, yes, that's what it would seem to mean.
Can the witness please explain this to the court?
I don't understand these newfangled computer things. Edgy boy, help!
Believe me, I want to, but I don't know what this means either.
Some help you are. You're a whippersnapper, too. Whippersnapper?
Something the matter, Miss Oldbag?
Ah, that's right. I just remembered something.
Let me guess. Someone else passed by the gate. Someone other than the Steel Samurai?
Well, yes, I suppose you could put it that way.
I see. Your testimony, please.
Witness
Witness testimony. The other person. Every day after I finish my guard duties, I have one other important job to do. I go through the photos recorded on the security computer and check them. I throw out any photos that aren't suspicious looking. You see, come to think of it, now I remember throwing out one photo that day.
Miss Oldbag, this is the first I've heard of this.
Well, of course, Sonny. I've only just remembered it.
Right. Anyway, Mr. Wright, please begin the cross-examination.
Well, I'd say this was a turn for the unexpected, but I kind of expected this.
The other person.
Every day after I finish my guard duties, I have one other important job to do. I go through the photos recorded on the security computer and check them. I throw out any photos that aren't suspicious looking, you see. Come to think of it, now I remember throwing out one other photo that day.
Well, who in the heck was the photo that you erased?
A fanboy.
Fanboy?
Steel Samurai fanboys. Real freaks, if you ask me. They get information about the rehearsals from gosh knows where. They're always hanging about. One was there that day.
Wait a second. Didn't you say no one else could get in? I locked the main gate so no one could get in. Those were your words.
Well, if you must know, there's a drain that goes into the employee area. The gate has been loose for a while. It leads outside and, well, that's where they come in.
They come in through the drain?
I told you they were freaks. Oh, and... They're kids, children, whippersnappers.
Kids? So, on the photo that you erased...
It was a boy, probably 2nd or 3rd grade.
What? Order! Let me get this straight. You saw 2 people pass by the gate on their way to the studios that day. One was the Steel Samurai dragging his leg. The other was a boy who looked to be about 2nd or 3rd grade.
Oh yes, well we see his type there every day. Can't stop him, can't catch him.
A boy in 2nd or 3rd grade. I assume it would be hard, if not impossible, for a young boy to wield the samurai spear. Impossible, I'd think. It's quite heavy.
Right, as I said, I didn't pay him much mind. That's why I erased the data. Nick, what's going on? I mean, the boy was there, that makes him a suspect.
Yeah, and they're already trying to unsuspect him. This court will take a 5-minute recess. I want the defense and the prosecution to consider this new information, and not forgetting vital information this time. October 18th, 11:08 p.m. a.m. District Court Defendant Lobby Number 3. Mr. Powers? Yeah? Tell me straight, were you really in your dressing room? You didn't go into the studio. I didn't go into the studio. I was sleeping, honest.
So who was the Steel Samurai in that security photo?
How should I know? The Steel Samurai costume was off in the corner of the dressing room. Anyone could have walked in and taken it, really.
What? You should take better care of your stuff.
I couldn't imagine anyone wanting the Steel Samurai costume. So, where does this leave me? It doesn't look good. You're the only likely suspect right now.
Nick! What are we going to do?
First, we play for more time. We'll start targeting someone else that could conceivably have done this.
Right! And it'll take them so long to shoot us down that we can get another day.
Right. But if we pick the wrong person, we might lose on the spot. You don't sound very optimistic. I'm not optimistic at all, actually.
Hey, Nick, it's time.
Okay, let's go. What does that mean? Please don't sigh like that. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. Mr. Edgeworth, will you present the prosecution's thoughts on this matter? The prosecution's thoughts are simple. Nothing has changed. The other person who went to the studios was a boy of roughly 10 years of age. The photo we do have may not be hard evidence, but there is still no one else that could have committed this crime. I call for a verdict of guilty for the defendant, Mr. Will Powers. Very well. Mr. Wright, your thoughts? The defense disagrees with the prosecution's claim. There is another person that could have committed this crime. Order. Interesting. Let us hear what you have in mind.
However, be aware that this court does not look kindly on accusing the innocent. If you accuse someone who is obviously innocent, you will be penalized. Right, great, as if the stakes weren't high enough. So, who was this person other than Mr. Powers that could have committed the murder? Security lady. It was the security lady, Wendy Oldbag. Who? The Steel Samurai is dragging his leg in this picture. That means whoever was in the suit knew about that morning's injury. Maybe because they had been watching the action scene run through. There was only one person other than Powers and Hammer who knew about the injury. The security lady, Oldbag. What? Whippersnapper! Order! Order! Is this true, Oldbag? Oldbag? That's Mrs. Oldbag to you! Mrs. Oldbag was standing guard alone at the main gate. She was by herself. In other words, she has no alibi. She could have briefly left her post to steal the Steel Samurai costume. Then slipped into Studio 1, the scene of the murder. Why would she go through the trouble of wearing the Steel Samurai costume? Simple, Your Honor. She knew the camera at the gate would take her picture. If she was in his costume, she could point the finger at Mr. Powers. I see. Excellent detective reasoning, Mr. Wright. Oh yeah, right here. Sherlock Holmes #2, baby. Huh? Odd. Is the part where Edgeworth pounces? Doesn't he usually jump up with an objection and some new damning evidence? Well, Mr. Edgeworth, does the prosecution have an opinion on this matter? The prosecution has no meaningful objections at this time. What? What's that supposed to mean? Oh, so you all think I did it? Is that it? Edgy boy, don't just sit there, do something! What's my move? Maybe now's my chance to take this whole thing away? It's the whole way? As further. The very same reasoning that makes Mr. Powers a suspect in this case can be used to cast doubt on Mrs. Oldbag's actions that day. But why would I do something so horrible to poor Hammer? You forget that Mr. Powers likes a clear motive, too. Indeed. Did it. Now Windbag is one of the suspects. No hard feelings, I hope. Wait just a minute! What about the other person who went to the studio? The boy! The one whose photo I erased! He's only a grade schooler, though, as you said. 2nd or 3rd grade, was it? That doesn't matter. When I was that age, I could pin my old man in 10 seconds tops. Your thoughts, Mr. Wright? That boy is not the killer. What? How can you be so sure? Oh, is it just because you're nice to the kids and you're mean to your elders' day? Whippersnappers! I have proof. Proof? Indeed. Then let's hear this proof. Let's see this proof, Mr. Wright. You have proof that shows the boy could not have committed this murder. Samurai spear, the murder weapon. A break in the shaft has been mended with duct tape. Your Honor! The murder weapon was the samurai spear. That very spear is shown here in this photo. How could the boy have taken the spear? It's impossible. I see. Well, will the witness care to comment on this? The windbag's speechless. This has got to be a first. Very well. This court will suspend proceedings on the current trial for today. Mr. Edgeworth, please find out more about your witness, Miss Wendy. What was her name? Something Oldbag, Your Honor. Then the prosecution will look further into this Oldbag before we continue. That is all. This court is adjourned. Wait a second! I'm going to just sit here while you run off barking at the wrong tree? Me! I'm talking! Oh, great. Stop the presses. The windbag wants to talk. Mrs. Oldbag, what is this all about? Have you omitted something from your testimony? Actually, if you must know, there's something I was told not to talk about. Not to talk about? By whom? Huh? You mean it wasn't Edgeworth who told you not to talk? Well, testify. My lips were sealed. Global Studios wanted me to keep quiet about something. There were some other people at the studios on the day of the murder. They said they had nothing to do with it, see? So they just told me to pretend I hadn't been on the studios that day. But if you're going to go accusing me, I'm not letting them get away scot-free. Mrs. Oldbag, this is crucial information. Why did you keep this from the court until now? Ain't you been listening? They told me to shut my trap, and I always do what I'm told. No, this isn't a bad dream, Your Honor. Witness, the power of the old bag. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. My lips sealed. Global Studios wanted me to keep quiet about something. There were some other people at the studios on the day of the murder. Who were these people? Well, the director and the producer, for starters. The director? We should have known something was fishy. How could they have done a run-through of their action scene without a director? Of course. Yes, well, I was surprised no one asked about it. So, where were these people? The director was in the employee area all morning before the run-through. He joined the producer around lunchtime, and they had a meeting after that. Where? Oh, in the Studio 2 trailer. Studio 2? There was a Studio 2? Well, if you look at the guide map, here it is. You go through the gate and all the way to the left. The path where the monkey's head was fallen over. Well, Mr. Wright, would you like to continue the cross-examination? I think I've already asked all my questions, but... Take a break. Your Honor, we have learned there were others at the Global Studios on the day in question. The director and the producer and, some bigwigs were all present. Yet, as we stand here, they have not been questioned. I hold that it is impossible to declare a verdict on the defendant, Mr. Powers. The court acknowledges the defense's point. The prosecution will gather more information about the witness, Miss Oldbag, and more information about these other people that we have been just told of. I understand, Your Honor. This ends the day's proceeding and the trial of Mr. Will Powers. That is all. This court is adjourned. October 18th, 1:04 p.m. District Court Defendant Lobby Number 3. Thank you so much, Mr. Wright. I was right to ask you to defend me.
Ah, really? It's nothing. Oh, or should I...
We'll be going down to the studios to gather more to do some more investigation. We have to find out more about this director and the producer. They'll be turning up in the next trial as witnesses for certain. So now's my chance to get the material for the cross-examination.
So, Nick, have we figured out just who it was that in that steel samurai costume? Could it really have been old Windbag?
What do you think, Mr. Powers? I don't think it was her, really.
Neither do I, Nick.
Yeah, I know. Look, I was just buying time back there. Someone had to be the bad guy for a bit to take pressure off of Mr. Powers.
Poor old Windbag. I kind of feel sorry for her.
Well, she wasn't winning any points in there with or without my accusation. Okay, let's get down to the studios.
Right! We'll be back to visit you soon.
Thanks, guys. And that's gonna have to be it for at least today's episode. Fortunately, our voice is slowly starting to give out on us, and we're starting to feel a little sick. So, unfortunately, this is where we are gonna have to call it. But either tomorrow or on Monday, since we have Monday off, we will probably record more of this and post it here. If not, then we'll do it sometime over the week or the next weekend. I make no promises. We don't really have a set schedule yet, but hopefully, as time goes on, we will eventually be able to post more of these and make more content like this. If you like seeing this and if you like this voice acting series of basically reading a book, like and subscribe. Comment for the algorithm or something, I don't know. All of this belongs to Capcom, nothing belongs to us or RockyMints Collective. So yeah, if you like this series, go ahead and subscribe. Keep up with it. I don't know. But that'll have to be it for today. Hope everyone's day is going well, and see you all eventually soon. Bye!